Hey everybody, I'm Ryan, and today we're going to talk about the Scarlet Crusade in World of Warcraft lore. If you want to learn about anything else I talk about in this video, those links are going to be in the description as I do videos for them. Please check those out as well, especially if you get a little bit confused. The Banshee Sylvanas led her undead Forsaken forces against the Dreadlord Balnazzar in the capital city of Lordaeron, and defeated him. Balnazzar was forced to flee into the Plague Lands with the last of his strength, knowing he needed to create a new army. He killed the revered original Silver-Hand Paladin, Saiden Dathrohan, and assumed his form. Balnazzar then used the guise of this respected warrior to twist the morals of the other paladins. The paladins of the Silver Hand had been crusading to fight the Scourge, but when Kel'Thuzad brought his cult of the damned to Lordaeron in the name of the Lich King, the paladins worked tirelessly to root out the secret organization, but ultimately failed. One of their own, Arthas, Prince of Lordaeron, shortly after killing Kel'Thuzad himself, resurrected him and joined the Lich King, dedicating himself to wiping out humanity and his previous order. The one paladin Balnazzar knew he couldn't corrupt was Alexandros Mograine, the wielder of the Ashbringer, an embodiment of piety and valor. Balnazzar instead corrupted his son, Renault, and had him kill his father. Alexandros' corpse and the Ashbringer were then recovered by the Scourge and would be raised to serve the Lich King. Renault then became a devout member of the Scarlet Crusade. Some paladins had suspected that a dark force had corrupted Saiden, and that he had a hand in Alexandros' death, but no one truly acted on it. Their suspicions, however, divided the paladins into two separate factions, the Argent Dawn and the Scarlet Crusade. The Scarlet Crusade had the Dreadlord Balnazzar as its leader, in the form of Saiden Dathrohan. This was the army Balnazzar wanted, and the organization soon became synonymous with corruption and extremism. Even the Forsaken, the undead who had reclaimed their free will from the grasp of the Lich King, were a part of the population that the Scarlet Crusade vowed to eradicate. Taelan Fordring grew up trying to follow in the footsteps of his father, Tirion Fordring, and became a paladin. In his zealotry against the undead Scourge, he ended up joining the Scarlet Crusade, eventually becoming a commander of the organization. The Scarlet Crusade, also known as the Scarlet Brotherhood, were complete zealots, killing the Scourge and anyone else who they suspected was infected with the undead plague. It is the only hierarchy left from the destroyed Kingdom of Lordaeron, and they still identify to be a part of the Kingdom of Lordaeron. Their goal was the complete destruction of the Scourge and to destroy evil anywhere, without mercy or compassion. It is exemplified best in this quote by Scarlet Commander Renault Mograine. "Can you not see it, brothers and sisters? There is but one way to wipe the Scourge from the face of Azeroth. The Scarlet Crusade offers you the protection that you so desperately desire, and if you will pledge yourself to us, surely we will reach our ultimate goal. Defy us, and you will be dispatched in a blaze of golden light, unlike any you have ever witnessed." They went town to town, killing anyone who showed signs of infection or suspected to be undead, much like Arthas did with Stratholme. Their intolerance led them to despise not just the undead, but all non-human races, seeing them as lesser. They are technically a derivative of the Church of the Holy Light, but have strayed dramatically from its teachings. The Church even publicly condemns the actions of the Scarlet Crusade and their actions. Slowly, the Crusaders began seeing all outsiders as possible carriers of the undead plague, and began attacking them on sight. They have killed countless refugees, fleeing the horrors of the Scourge, seeing them as possible carriers of the plague. However, some humans in the Alliance, particularly the peasants, had heard about their madness, but also their valiant fight against the undead, and generally support them, even if the Alliance itself does not. Remaining human peasants in Lordaeron have also been protected by the Scarlet Crusade, and their holdings are the only place in Lordaeron that are still safe for humans and are unaffected by the plague of undeath. The actions of the Scarlet Crusade are generally tolerated out of ignorance. The Alliance and the Church of the Holy Light distance themselves from the Crusade's activities, but don't interfere. They've made their primary bases in the Scarlet Enclave in Eastern Plaguelands and the Scarlet Monastery in Tirisfal Glades, where they could attack the Scourge in the Plaguelands and the Forsaken in the Undercity. The Scarlet Monastery was actually once a bastion of Lordaeron's priests. The location slowly became more and more broken as the Scourge attacked it 3 times in what was called the Summertide Assaults. The Crusade attempted to strike back against the Scourge at Icecrown, but only made it as far as Icecrown Glacier, where they experienced an incredible amount of casualties. Even though the Scarlet Crusade are belligerent and corrupt, they and the Argent Dawn worked to eradicate the Lich King's influences. The Argent Dawn was formed by those sickened with the Scarlet Crusade, but had refused to give up protecting Azeroth. Crusade continually raided the Scourge in the Plaguelands, and the Forsaken's holdings, especially in Brill. The Forsaken have retaliated in kind, and captured Scarlet Crusaders have become the favored test subjects for new poisons. Tirion Fordring had adventurers deliver mementos to his son Taelan to attempt to restore his faith and nobility and get him to forsake the Scarlet Crusade. It worked, and Taelan attempted to leave the Scarlet Crusade, but was murdered by Grand Crusader Isillien for desertion. Taelan's death inspired Tirion to reform the Knights of the Silver Hand, so that evil, regardless of politics, would be extinguished from the world. During the invasion of Naxxramas, the Scarlet Crusade and the Argent Dawn fought against the Lich King. A subdivision of the Argent Dawn, the Brotherhood of the Light, worked to make sure the rivalry between the two factions did not become violent, and they would work together in defeating the Lich King. In Stratholme, the Scourge, led by Kel'Thuzad, was locked in battle with the Scarlet Crusaders, led by Saiden Dathrohan. They fought over control of the city. Adventurers ended up attacking both sides, killing the undead, and despite their strained alliance, Zverenhoff had adventurers attack the Scarlet Crusade, destroying the Scarlet Crusaders that were in Stratholme. When those adventurers confronted Saiden, they unmasked him, and he was revealed to be the Dreadlord Balnazzar. There was a spot in Eastern Plaguelands that was untouched by the plague. This was the Scarlet Enclave, containing the Scarlet capital of Tyr's Hand, and the towns of Havenshire and New Avalon. When the Lich King was planning an invasion of Azeroth, he ordered an attack on New Avalon, a town controlled by the Scarlet Crusade, led by the Death Knight Darion Mograine, the wielder of the corrupt Ashbringer. When the Scourge was marching on New Avalon, High General Abendus claimed to have a vision from the light, telling her to take her most faithful and journey to Northrend. This became known among Scarlet troops as the Crimson Dawn. The Scourge dealt a great blow to the Scarlet Crusade here, and raised their most powerful as Death Knights to serve the Lich King in unlife, those who had dedicated their life to destroying him. The Scarlet Crusade, along with most other factions in Azeroth, attacked the Lich King in Northrend. Those that did called themselves the Scarlet Onslaught, led by High General Abendus. The Dreadlord Mal'Ganis disguised himself as Admiral Darion Westwind of the Scarlet Onslaught and drove the Crusaders into an even deeper pit of corruption, themselves seeing fit to use Death Knights and Raven Priests on the field. After the defeat of the Lich King, and all of the struggles the Scarlet Crusaders had faced, it was but a shadow of its former self. Only a few members survived, clinging to the hope that Abendus would return. When Balnazzar was unmasked by the heroes of Azeroth, he killed as many Crusaders as he could, and raised them into undeath. He corrupted these undead senses and tortured their minds. The Scarlet Crusaders, who had fierce hatreds of undead and demons, were now themselves slaves to the Legion and undead. They were the Risen, forced to live on as the creatures they wished to destroy. A similar fate beheld the Scarlet Crusaders in Tyr's Hand as well. The Scarlet Monastery and the surrounding holdings in Tirisfal Glades was now the last bastion for the Scarlet Crusaders, led by Sally Whitemane, the High Inquisitor, along with Commander Durand. They had become ashamed of the failures of their past, and worked very hard to eradicate the pages of history that mentioned their failures. Lilian Voss was strangled by her father, a high priest of the Scarlet Crusade, for treachery, was raised as an undead, and went on a vengeful rampage against the Scarlet Crusade that led her to killing many of the Crusaders. She tasked adventurers with killing the Scarlet Crusaders that remained there, including Sally Whitemane. Following this, many members went into hiding, but very few reoccupied the Scarlet Monastery. The Knights of the Ebon Blade later assaulted the Scarlet Monastery, The remaining Scarlet Crusaders were now led by High Commander Goodchild. The Ebon Blade wished to resurrect Sally Whitemane as the member of their new Four Horsemen. After the Fourth War, some survivors of the Scarlet Crusade declared themselves loyalists to House Menethil, the noble line that Arthas was a part of. They refused to join the alliance because they saw it as run by a traitor to this noble house. Propaganda pamphlets created by these remaining members of the Scarlet Crusade can be found, claiming that King Anduin of Stormwind is an undead loving traitor who worked with his lover, Sylvanas Windrunner, to stage a fake massacre in the Gathering at Arathi Highlands, where humans of Stormwind met with their forsaken family members, so that Princess Calia Menethil would be killed and raised into undead, which she was, so Anduin could marry her and usurp Lordaeron. The pamphlets told people to rally behind Greymane so that he could kill the Forsaken, then kill all of the Worgen, including Greymane, so that only pure-blooded humans could exist. It also claims that the Brotherhood had been raising someone who is the secret son of Calia and an Arathi nobleman, and the rightful king of Lordaeron, who they planned to place on the throne after the undead and the Worgen had been wiped from the land, thereby restoring the Menethil dynasty. And that's where the Scarlet Crusaders are at right now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. Go out there and kill some Scarlet Crusaders for fun, will ya? If you enjoyed this, check me out on other social media platforms, on Instagram, on Twitter, and especially on Twitch. I stream there. It's a lot of fun. I would love for you to join that community. We also have a Discord. All those links are in the description. Please, have a wonderful day. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.